You are entering E&C's Pod of Awesomeness.
I'm waiting for you this week, Jay.
You're waiting for me?
Yeah, because every other week you've complained that I started. So see what I did again there? I laid out. I was like, all right, he's going to take it.
Was that dead air? I didn't get the countdown, Matt.
That was
Megan,
dead air.
the producer. What's going on here? I didn't get any cues in my headphones. Am I just supposed to know this shit? Like,
don't blame it. Yeah, you are supposed to know this shit because you're supposed to be a professional podcaster at this point.
I am.
I don't think you are.
Well, I'm going to say 4 deep. I'd say I'm not sure if I'm ready to give up my amateurs. I'm not sure.
Wow, that's a different kind of podcast now.
Let me reference.
Good Lord.
Four podcasts in, I guess I should clarify here. But I'm not. Maybe. Listen. I'm not going to go ahead and call myself a professional podcaster because I'm not sure I'm ready to give up my amateur status in case of the podcast Olympics.
Okay. And what exactly do the podcast Olympics entail?
They would maybe throwing your voice. See what I did there?
Oh, yeah?
It's audio. Yeah.
I was throwing your voice.
Too. Yeah. Fucking witty.
Would there be some type of throat action?
Depends on how many deep you are.
Yeah, I do. Which reminds me, I just want to fucking kick you in the throat.
Really?
Every week. Yeah, when I hear your voice, it just makes me want to do violent things to your upper extremities.
You know what I would do? I would hit you with the punch, the whole punch, and nothing but the punch.
I can't stand you.
I would fucking fling my shoe, a steel-toe work boot, across the room with you unsuspectingly sitting there, maybe sewing, knitting.
Hold on. Why are you wearing a steel-toe work boot?
I wear them around the house because I'm very handy. But if you were here, I'd walk
you're
around
not.
with them unlaced.
I know you're not.
I would.
So you're walking around in work boots or Timberlands like Crime Time used to?
No, I'm talking like you'd see on a construction site. And I would fling that fucker across the room and dent it into your temple.
You don't see. Even your cat in the background knows you're full of shit.
Hold on a second. He's already starting. Hold on.
Yeah. See, I already got the upper hand on this. Do you hear that? He just dropped the microphone on all of you people. I'm staying here. I'm a professional podcaster. I just won the podcast Olympics. That's my take on it. I won the gold, the silver, and the bronze, and I'm going to make a new medal, 4th place, pewter. I just won the pewter medal.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back, and I kept going the entire time.
No, we're just going to edit that part out, right? You don't want to hear my cat with hyperthyroid.
No, I do. I heard your cat. All the people are going to hear your cat.
Are you trying to embarrass my cat? I mean,
no, I'm trying. No, I love your cat. I'm embarrassing you.
You're not embarrassing me, but he has hyperthyroid, so he howls uncontrollably sometimes. You got to feel for the guy. Now you're just going to embarrass him on the air?
No. As a matter of fact, I'll cuddle him and I'll hold them. They're just going to know that you're an unprofessional cat owner. As well as a podcaster.
And here's the little known thing that people might not know, that you're allergic to cats. I would love to rub him all over your face. You broke out in a giant hive, then claw your eyeballs out. It would be awesome. Felix.
Wet with your work boots?
Yeah. Oh, my God, Felix. See?
Yeah, there he is again.
He's just telling you. That's what I would do. He was confirming it.
Oh, okay. All right, That's what that was. So we got a big week here on the Pod of Awesomeness.
Yeah, it seems like we're all over the map today so far.
But that's okay. Well, you want to know why? Because I got well, there's that, but I also have me a flat white with almond milk.
Really?
And I'm throwing it right down my gullet as we speak. And let me guess, you can't hear it. You want to know why? Because I'm a damn pro.
You're not drinking as we're talking? You're drinking while you're talking, so you're throwing your voice?
See, that's why I win the podcast Olympics.
Fuck.
Yep.
I gotta get back to training. We gotta cut this short.
Yeah, you better get to training that throat again.
Yeah.
This week we have would it be the semifinal? I guess it wouldn't be the quarterfinals of the contest. Right. So we're eliminating 3 this week. This is a huge week.
Ooh, big week.
3 fall by the wayside. Only the strong survive after this week. The final 2, the finals will be next week. But this week we eliminate 3. Right. Also, we have tag team specialists. Quite possibly the best tag team in the world today, after making their Raw debut last week and then defeating New Day again this week. We have the top guys. No flips, just fists, the Revival.
Hashtag top guys. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I mean, they finally made their main roster debut. Probably perfect timing for those guys. They've been tearing it up in NXT for the last little while, so it'd be good to see them tested on the main roster, and I think they're going to do good. A little throwback tag team, which I like. It's different than what you see today. So I'm looking forward to kind of like being like a mole and just drilling my way into the mind of these guys and see what's going on.
Yeah, that's an interesting analogy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that one together. Yeah.
Felix is back. Hey, Felix.
How many cats do you have, Jay?
4.
Come on. Let's be honest.
Okay. 4 inside, 2 outside. It's a total of 6.
Are you sure it's not more than that?
No.
Because the last time I was there, it felt like I was in some kind of like Egyptian prince's palace. And not because of the West Wing, East Wing, and all that other stuff, but because you just have a lot of cats.
Yes. Well,
you're the cat guy.
I am a cat guy, you know. And well, here's the thing: we lost one last year.
Do you watch Twin Peaks and X-Files and wear knitted sweaters? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
Just checking.
I watch Saved by the Bell reruns.
I don't know if that saves your cred anymore. Although I like both of those shows. I just always have this mental picture of the cat lady with a knitted sweater watching, kind of creepy shows on TV or shows like Supernatural or something.
Or like Sabrina the Teenage Witch that had like the cat there on the counter all the time.
I was thinking more like Dreamboat guys that are on shows.
She's a big wrestling fan, right?
Yeah, she is, I think. I don't know her personally.
Yeah.
Could be an interesting chat. We could try and get 80s pop icons, or 90s, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 90s.
Yeah. We could try and do that for sure.
Yeah. No one listening will know what that means. So, a brief explanation of this. Michael Hayes, on a flight once back from overseas, he started saying, "Here we go," and ever since that has become a little catchphrase.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, we were at baggage. He was saying it on the flight, and I picked up on it. And then we were sitting at the baggage claim when we got back in the morning, and he looks at me and I went, "Here we go," and he just went, "Yeah, here we go." And then he looks away, looks back at me, and I go, "Here we go," and he's like, "Yep, here we go." He looks back at me and I go, "Here we go." He goes, "Why the fuck do you keep saying that to me?" And I was like, "You don't remember saying it like 100 times on the flight?" And he's like, "Fuck you," and he walks away. So it became a thing after that.
Michael has a lot of things.
He has a lot of
We had a lot of Michaelisms. You know what was interesting? Do you remember? I believe it was an Outback Steakhouse, which is where all of these strange epiphanies seem to happen. But it was Michael.
You know why? No rules, just right. Outback Steakhouse.
I thought it was the Bloomin' Onion.
I think it's more the slogan.
It built up the endorphins and all that grease and fat, and we just got all worked up and was like, "Arr!" Anyway, do you remember the idea? I don't know what happened
all
there.
over his fanny pack and his silk shirt.
But do you remember Michael came up with the idea? And full credit, he came up with this the House of Horrors match.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Like, and he's like, "Guys, I got an ideal." He couldn't say ideal. "Guys, I got an ideal." And then he was like, "What about this is brewed against the Hardys?" And he came up with this concept for this House of Horrors match, where basically we would do the match inside of like a funhouse type thing with like two-way mirrors and different rooms and things like that. And basically, you fight all the way. I can't remember how the match would end, but it was. I remember the concept being like, "Whoa, that's pretty crazy." But
it was
cool.
strange, and shoot it like a movie with trap doors and secret passageways and all of these things. Kind of, I guess, a predecessor. Like Matt must have remembered that and he took that and ran with it with the the delete. Idea and everything like that. Yeah. But I remember Michael coming up with it, and the four of us were kind of like, "Whoa, that's crazy," but There is a possibility, and then it was trying to figure out, for Jeff to do a whisper in a wind off a staircase, and just weird things like that. But I remember the multiple camera angles. I don't know if it would have worked then.
I don't know. It was kind of the age of like boiler room matches and stuff, so we might have been able to get away with it at that point, or the buried alive type matches and things. So who knows? I just don't know if we were had built up enough. We were big enough stars at the time because it was kind of like right at the start of when we were starting to kind of step up the tag division a little bit, especially making names for ourselves as the Edge and Christian and the Hardys, because we were still the Brood. We were still really new, so it wasn't even like we hadn't even split away from that yet, and the Brood wasn't even around a full year. That sometimes blows my mind too, that people feel like this Brood thing was around for such a long time, and it really wasn't. So yeah, I don't think we were even established enough yet to really have something like that happen for us, but I mean, it would have been really cool if it did end up happening.
Yeah, it was interesting concept, which, as I said, fast forward 17, 18 years or so, and it's kind of now been done, which is, kudos to the Hardys. I don't know why I just thought of that. And Michael Hayes, I will say, here we go, that he was also the guy. He had a lot of ideas over the years, and some of his ideas were like, whoa, okay, we can't physically pull that off, Michael, like TLC ideas and things like that. But I was thinking of my Hall of Fame speech, and he was the guy who came up with the idea to show pictures and reference the pictures and throw up to the screen. And it was...
What, in your Hall of Fame speech?
Yeah, and I was like, that is a great idea. All right.
You know what's even crazier? And how crazy, like, our minds are kind of in sync, which is, like, cool and scary at the same time? Because in my induction of you, I used a little bit of on-screen video myself, and we
surveillance video.
What's that?
Surveillance video.
Yeah, surveillance video. Yeah. So
easy for you to say.
Surveillance video.
Surveillance video. Her Uncle Bob, 30 years in the business.
Here we go.
This show has no rhyme or reason this week. But I kind of like it. I think I like it this way. So how about Beth? She is snaky. She's just, I can't trust her. Yeah. She's the one who filmed that video of me firing up, doing my babyface fire up in the hallway of the library of ODSS, Orangeville District Secondary School. Right. And unbeknownst to me, forwarded it to you. Mm-hmm. She forwarded it. I thought you did. No, she did. She's the one who recorded it.
I knew she recorded it. Obviously, I didn't think you were doing like selfie video, doing that whole deal.
Yeah, I set it up with a selfie stick on the wall. I taped it up with some masking tape and some spit and glue because I just thought it'd be, good for future reference. Got no idea what I'm talking about. What was that? Was that your cat again?
That's my cat, and he's getting into a Whole Foods bag.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. He's on fire today.
Yeah, I don't know what his problem is.
Yeah. I think he just doesn't like you. That's my guess. Speaking of possibly not liking things, should we get to the voicemails? Cut down to the final two. Get rid of the excess fat. Get rid of the adipose tissue. Get rid of the lard. You got anything else?
Give me a second here. Wait for it. Nope. Let's just hear him.
All right.
Pele yells, we're out of here. Cena says, right on. Making moves and starting grooves before they knew that we were gone. Jumped into the Chevy, headed for big lights. Want to know the rest? Hey, buy the rights. How bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. This has been the vocal stylings of your old pal,
Oh my goodness!
Okay,
so he's
such
singing
a random song choice.
Right. So Mega Matt, he's a little bit younger than us. That was "How Bizarre" by what were they called?
Oh God, I can't remember. How bizarre, how bizarre.
Matt, what were they called?
OMC.
OMC. That's right.
That's right.
How did you know that, Matt?
Because I was a big music video guy. When I was like 8, I would sit in front of the TV, big VH1 guy, and OMC was always top 10.
How bizarre. How bizarre.
How bizarre. What did OMC stand for?
Something Millionaires Club. I know that.
Because OMD was Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, new wave band from the 80s. Bet you didn't know that one, Mega Matt.
No, I didn't know that. But I'm a big OMC guy. I even remember the video. It was like a drop-top Cadillac or something. It was awesome.
Did I ever tell you, Matt, and I probably didn't because we only met before this podcast started in like August. I mean, we met in August. We've been developing this since then.
Right.
So anyways, this is getting convoluted.
Yeah.
I met D-Light before my high school prom.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Was D-Light at your high school prom?
No, we invited them. So here's the deal. So we were staying at... It was me.
Good, we got one of the weird Christian chuckles this week. Yeah. There it is.
So we were walking out of our hotel, getting ready to go over to our prom. It was me, my friend John Pozovac, the one-man posse, Vac. He was in our wrestling crew. And Nick Savekovich, who wrestles as Sin, and was also Kiz Arnie. So we walk out of our hotel, and we look across the street, and we see this dude with like these ponytails and has like kind of... they're braided, right? Big ponytails. And I jokingly said, hey, it looks like the dude from D-Light. And then we saw the girl, the kind of hot girl that was in D-Light. So we're like, oh my God, that's D-Light. So we ran across like 4 lanes of traffic, almost got hit. And we're like, you guys are D-Light? And they're like, yeah. And they were really cool. And I remember my buddy John, who was super funny, he's just like, hey, what are you guys doing tonight? They're like, oh, we have this little thing before our concert tomorrow. And he's like, hey, if you're not doing anything, this is where our prom is. Tell them John Posovac sent you. They'll let you in. And they're like, okay, thanks. And then we took a picture with them and they jumped into Met D-Light. Anyway, it just kind of reminded me of that.
Tell them John Posovac sent you. Well, so now back to Morgan Freeman singing OMC.
That was great.
Great choice.
Awesome.
That's
I love Morgan Freeman, man.
He stuck to his strength.
Right.
He stuck to his strength. He's got a good Morgan. And then
you know what the thing I like about it is? You know what I like about it? He doesn't rush. He's telling a story with his voice, with his tone. He's taking you on a journey. He's taking you on a trip. I like that about him.
Want to know what it is? It's a Harley race match.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he paced himself.
Yeah. I like it. All right, Morgan. He's strong. Let's see who's next.
You think you know me? On this day, I see clearly everything has come to life. What? Sorry, I don't know the rest of the words, but I do love that song, Edge. Well, after listening to last week's podcast of awesomeness, I only have one question for you, Edge. What in the hell is Mockmania? It just sounds like an excuse for you and Shane to rub up on each other. Because I got a better idea. How about you and I get together and do Stunner Mania next year in New Orleans? Because I'll be happy to drop you on that stack of dimes you call a neck. But for now, I'm going to go to my kitchen, drink a couple Steve Weisers, and wait by my phone until I get an email saying I made it to the next round. So I'll see you guys next week. Same podcast time, same podcast channel. On this day, I see clearly everything has come to life.
I'm not convinced that wasn't Steve. Okay. That was pretty damn good. I think Steve got better, if that's possible.
It did get better. And how about it exploded like that?
He came out of the gates. Flying. He was a jump start. It was a jump start. Whereas like Morgan
Freeman doesn't know the lyrics.
No, but like with Morgan Freeman, he kind of locked up, took an arm, worked a couple holds, eased into it.
Yeah.
Steve Austin here, he jump started. Got on it.
That was
hot start. Smart.
That was straight into hitting your finish or a sunset powerbomb off a ladder right there. That's what that was.
And the best part is he made fun of
fact he made fun of me. Right. So it's coming for you next week if he makes it through. I thought a comment about my chin would be coming up for the stunner. But he brought up Mockmania, so he keeps that alive.
Right.
He has a fade out. He faded himself out.
Well, I also
he was walking to the kitchen while he continued to hum the song. Man, Steve Weiser, that was strong.
I also like that he hit stack of dimes because he obviously knows the history of your stupid neck and how it's hurt. So that was good too.
my stupid neck. Stupid neck.
Anywho, but yeah, then he called back again. He sang himself out. He sang, cut a little bit of a promo, and sang himself out. Boom.
Even better than that, what you didn't catch because you're stupid is the fact that he faded himself out like a classic 1970s Pink Floyd album or something.
Faded himself out? I didn't know it wasn't Mega Matt doing his magic.
Well, no. So it's theater of the mind, Jay. Come on, work with me here. What happened there? He said he was going to the kitchen to get some Steve Weisers. He was walking to the kitchen while he continued to sing. So he got further and further away from his cell phone. That's the way I'm looking at it. That's what he was trying to create for us. So be a goddamn artist and listen.
Fuck you. Next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut my music, yeah. How are you? And welcome to Storytime with Arnold. I'm the procrastinator, yeah. So today's story that I want to tell you is about my pet spirit. His name is Bastion, after my favorite wrestler from the 90s, Bastion Booger. Anyway, you know that he was in the movie The Big Lebowski. They threw him in the tub when they were going to cut off the dude's Johnson. Oh, excuse me, I'm so embarrassed. That's my cell phone. I have to take that real quick. 1 second. Hello? Ahoy. Is this Sarafana? Oh, hey, if it isn't my favorite boys, Matt and Brother Nero. What's that? You need help becoming broken? Okay, one moment. I have to finish up. Sorry about that. I have to cut it short, as I have to go get to the chopper. I have to go give 2 boys a bloodbath. So anyway, hasta la vista, chump stains. And remember, I'll be back.
All right. Interesting. Creative. Yeah. Took a phone call.
Yeah.
Trying to help Matt and Jeff get their characters back from TNA.
Yeah.
I like that. Bloodbath
I like the reference of Get to the Chopper. I like that. Little throwback to his movie. I felt like he was kind of in and out.
Boys with the Z.
I felt like he was in and out of the... I don't feel like it was as strong as it was last week.
I don't think it was. His material was.
His material was great. I just felt like he maybe rushed the... He rushed it a little bit.
That's tough. A Big Lebowski reference, too.
I know, man. It was good. He had good material. I just felt like he was kind of in and out of it. He lost me. Like last week, he was dialed in. You know?
Whereas Steve got better, which is what you want to do. You want a hot goalie going to the playoffs, the NHL playoffs. You need that hot goalie.
Well, here's the thing, right? This is sudden death. Like it's like do or die, right? So you got to put your best stuff out there, and you have to bring it every week. And that's the thing. There's no room for taking a step back, not even a quarter step, not even a millistep, not even a fucking... What are you doing?
Preach on. I'm trying to reinforce your points with grunts.
You're taking a dump. Like, I was like...
didn't you? You didn't feel that? Like, I'm with you. Yeah.
I'm hitting a double buy right now. I'm hitting a double buy. Yeah.
So,
the Orangeville Oak.
Is that your new handle?
Yeah. Well, I mean... Arnold was the Austrian oak.
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay, I was still in the uptake. Just like I didn't realize that the ferret was a reference from Kindergarten Cop. Somebody on Twitter smartened me up to that. I also didn't realize that the Roddy Piper Saddam Hussein reference was something that he said in a promo. I didn't know because I'm not as big a nerd as you, guy on Twitter. All right, let's see who's next.
Bottoms up! I like Pete Rose too. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drive Voyager 3. That's what I'm gonna do next. What does Scotsman wear under his kilt? How would you know? His shoes! I can be a little rude myself there, young fella. You wanna have a party? I mean, who's running the Bobby Heenan camp? What is that, George Steinbrenner? Is that doing... Bobby Heenan's a eunuch of the WWF. Everybody's gotta pay the piper sooner or later. You wanna play and have fun, Rude, and now you ain't the champion no more. Good champion, I can be rude. A good champion like I made to my friend, the Ultimate Warrior, who is standing out there now, the Intercontinental Champion. Oh, you gotta say it's my fault, you know, and I started thinking to myself, and of course it's my fault! Because that's what you get away with that? Kind of a bit of a rep myself, you know. Got a reputation that I gotta uphold. You don't think I dealt with gorillas like you before? It's been wonderful to see you. Couple of things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna in a garage, and I'm gonna watch some more of these matches, and gonna get rude.
Wow.
Dude went off there, huh?
Yeah, as Roddy would.
I actually went and rotated the tires on my car, and
you do that? I pay people to do that.
Yeah, well, I like to save money.
You don't, huh?
And
that's those work boots.
I delivered the paper in my neighborhood, and then when I came back, he was still going. So,
what kind of bike do you ride to deliver the paper?
A Huffy.
A Huffy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep.
Not like a little like a GT or PK Ripper. I had a PK Ripper.
Oh, I drive a Huffy.
So bold choice. Roddy's tough. I mean,
I think we said this last week, right? Like, I mean, we said that Roddy was hard, and I guess I applaud people for trying it, but I don't think there's anybody out there that can do Roddy other than Roddy. So I would.
Here's what people, I do. I give it a golf clap.
I give it an A for effort, but we got guys that are doing A+ impressions here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and just it was better than last week's Roddy.
Nah, I like the material. I thought the material was really great, really smart. I just thought the impression.
There was times where he was bang on.
There was inflections there, where you could tell who he was trying to be. Yeah, there's inflections, but
because Roddy was like he just drank about 52 espressos,
right?
Chased it with something, and that's tough to try and mimic. Bold choice though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good try, man.
Edge, Christian, I am
Howard.
A finalist in your contest. Last contest I entered was back in 1964, and it was a pie-eating contest. And no, I'm not talking about pussy. If that were the case, I would have placed first. I'm talking about delicious homemade apple pie baked by Mama Fink. I lost to Freddie Walzak on that fateful summer day in 1964. And I'll be fucking damned if I lose another contest ever again. When I win, I want you two to announce me as the winner, as I've done for you both so many times in the past. Your winner of the bout, Howard Finkel! And then I'll finally be able to say, I did it. I fucking did it.
Angry Howard.
I kind of like.
You like Angry Howard.
I like
you
Howard with an edge. No pun intended. But
see what you
I think
there.
it's. I think because I know like we talked about before, we know the real Howard so well that he wouldn't talk like that. So it's kind of funny to hear a little spin on what he would if that was actually him.
F-bombing Howard.
Yeah.
So
how many we got to get rid of
guys.
here?
You got to get rid of 3. And just for reference, the Piper was last week's Ultimate Warrior.
Yes. I knew somebody chose differently. Well, I think first and foremost, as much as Roddy tried, and I applaud the fact that he went for a different character.
I do too.
2 difficult characters. I think Roddy's got to go.
Roddy, listen, don't hang your head. You took a chance. You took a swing. You missed.
Yep.
Come back next time.
Yep.
There's always next time.
There's always next time.
Always next time.
Which leaves us with Morgan, who sang OMC. How bizarre. We have Stone Cold.
I'm going to tell you
right out of the gates.
I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this a little different. I'm telling you right now, for me, who's in, locked 100%, are Stone Cold and Morgan Freeman. They're in regardless. So, for me. But we both have to agree on this.
We do.
Are you going to drag it out a little bit, or what are you going to do?
And if we have a hung jury, do we go to Mega Matt?
I think so. That's what we got to do.
Because any jury I'm on is hung. Oh! That was bad. Okay, that was pretty bad. Okay. I'm going to go through. So, Piper eliminated. I have to eliminate Arnold.
Yeah?
I liked what he did. I liked some of the references, things like that. But he was stronger last week. And as we talked about, this is when you need the hot goalie. This is when you got to shut the door. This is when you got to up the game. So Arnold's gone, even though there's a Big Lebowski reference. Which brings us down to 3. See, this is how you build things up, Jay. This is how you build a match. You know what I'm saying? The anticipation, you got to be tingling over on your end, right?
Maybe that's why I never got over. I did it wrong.
All right, so my last person to eliminate, as much as it pains me to A, get rid of this character, and B, agree with you, Howard Finkel's got to go. You know what might be interesting, though?
What?
Is have Howard Finkel officiate.
Right. Wait, so we could only pick 2? We had to eliminate 3?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, you realize you only picked 2, right?
Fuck. Let's edit this out and redo it, Matt.
Did you miss that part?
Yeah, I guess I did. Wasn't paying attention.
You did pick 2.
We got the finals next week, because then our...
I know, but I was... Never mind, guys.
You're too busy with the cat.
I will just sit here and say nothing. That'll be my punishment. Okay?
So the finals next week, while Jay sits in the corner, can't put baby in the corner, is Morgan Freeman versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, unless they go outside the box, try different characters. However, they've found a tight wheelhouse there that they might want to stay in. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think maybe they're building up a little bit of a fan base as well. So
some momentum.
Maybe you got to think about you don't want to abandon that, you know. And by the fan base, I mean myself and Adam here.
And me, and Mega Matt too.
Right.
But momentum, as Scott Steiner would say.
I think it's a good idea. I think Howard, he's been calling in since, the very first week when we had the voicemails, which we will get back to as soon as this contest is over. We should have him be a part of this because he's been a big part of the show.
He has, and it's not Luke Gallows, as we've already touched upon and got confirmation from Sir Luke.
So Howard, we will be in touch and we will let you know what we need from you if you want to do it.
Yeah, he might just say, "Go fuck yourselves."
Yeah, he might be a "fuck you guys."
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
There's a lot of swearing on this week's episode.
Yeah, a lot of bleeps.
Yeah,
maybe we should tone that back a bit.
You think?
I think so. We're better than that.
We're smarter, is what you're trying to say.
Right.
That doesn't explain why we did it so much on the TV show.
No, but we got bleeps there, so that was a difference. So we got
if
a big
anyone's
final next
offended,
week.
let us know.
Big finals.
Yeah. Should we also announce an idea that you had for future episodes with Anatomy, or do we?
I think we should. I think
right. That way nobody can steal it in case word gets out in the street. So Christian, a.k.a. Jay Riso, a.k.a. Captain Charisma, a.k.a. CLB, a.k.a. the Birdman,
right?
Cuckoo Kichu. He had a great idea for future podcast episodes to do the anatomy of a match, where we get the parties that were involved in a match all get together in a room or by phone, however we can do it, and pick their brains on what exactly went into the match, the mindset going into it, the ideas going into it, where certain things were implemented and why.
If there were also little things that people might not see, like changes beforehand or during, or the implications when the match was over, what the mindset was, all those sorts of things. We just thought it'd be a neat thing to kind of break down something different for you guys. If you have any matches that you would be interested in us kind of breaking down, hit us up on the voicemail, 929-367-8204. But,
or on our Twitter handle,
right,
at E&C Pod, or on either of our Twitter feeds, at Edge Rated R and at Christian 4, the number, Peeps.
Oh, and we also bought an email account.
We bought one. You have to buy those nowadays.
E&C Pod of Awesomeness at gmail.com.
So I thought it was going to be an AOL.
No, I don't think so.
We're ahead of that?
I think we're better than that, too, I think. Swearing
what's
and AOL
interesting
are two things we're better than.
Who could have an anatomy of the match? We could have one with the Revival and American Alpha, or the Revival and DIY. So maybe that could happen one day.
Who knows?
What do you think about that? I think that seems like the perfect segue to go to our guest this week. The top guys, the Revival, the arrival of the revival.
Hey, you just stole my thing, man.
Yep, damn right. And guess what? They're my get.
They're my
get.
So you stole my thing because you know they're my get.
My get. I made all the calls. This is my get. Don't even try.
Hashtag my get. Let's hear it, guys.
Thank you. So it took us an hour to get everything in line, online, booted up, whatever it is. Thanks to
here's the thing.
Christian's lack of mechanical or technical prowess.
That's not really the case. What it was is that I wanted these guys...
Oh, it's the case.
Can I speak? Fuck.
No.
Shut the fuck up for a minute.
No.
Here's the thing. I wanted these guys, their voice, to be heard the way it's supposed to. Optimal audio for these guys. So I just want to make sure it was right. I don't want to fuck around here.
Right, yeah.
Maybe take a tutorial on the machine next time, Chumpstain.
Well, he's educated in Circuit City, and that's what he's. That's where he mastered his craft, and you know what happened to Circuit City.
I know you're saying he doesn't know what he's doing, but he knows. He said, "Hey, I need one of those little star-headed screwdrivers."
That's what I said.
So, I mean, Star-headed,
yeah. It's like the metric system. You know, there's pounds and kilos.
Star-headed screwdriver.
Guys,
flat-headed.
Guys, it's like Canada and the U.S. right? It's like miles and kilometers. Same thing. You say Phillips, we say Starhead.
Right. Yeah, we're agreeing with you. That's what we're saying.
Hey, I'm Canadian. No, we don't. We don't say star-headed. You say star-headed because you've never used one.
When's the last time you've been to Canada? Jay was just there a few weeks ago.
Right?
That's true.
And I checked in. I even watched a hockey game or two. I went to two professional hockey games. That shows you how Canadian I am. Yeah.
You're wearing a Tampa Bay
Lightning
hockey shirt right now.
I am.
That's not even Canadian.
Let's not lie, guys.
Exactly.
I'm wearing a suit.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want to look good for you guys.
For the purposes of this interview, I guess I'll call you guys Dash and Dawson.
Right.
Scott and Dash as opposed to, Daniel and Dave.
Okay.
What?
Do you want?
Whoa!
Do you want
shoot names, brother?
Captain Charisma and Rated R? Or
Although I did back I met Dawson probably first from both these guys, and we got along pretty well from the start. And I let him call me by my shoot name.
Yeah,
and he was pretty pumped about that.
He let me know about it.
It took me a while to get used to it.
Yeah,
always. Calling you Christian, but now we're friends, and I can tell everybody. I always do you guys ever heard of Christian? Jay.
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah. So
you know Jay.
One person.
TV's Christian.
Oh, you know Christian. Yeah, you wanted to know. Yeah, it's the
guys. You should see personally. You should see the helicopter he landed here today.
Yeah.
Flew in a helicopter here for us.
Well, I left it hovering.
Really? So he can fly a helicopter, but he can't use a machine to hook up 3 microphones.
Oh,
Got it.
Guys, what am I, poor? I have a driver.
His shoot accountant called him today, and he made us wait while he talked to him.
All he did the whole time the accountant was talking was rub his fingers together. And
I heard the word millions. I heard this laugh.
You got the fake serious. Christian laugh.
Oh yeah, I even called him out while he was on the phone.
Yeah, he did. He did call me.
Nice.
So
nice because it's a thing.
Yeah, we've actually talked about this, so it's good you guys have been listening to the show, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
That you know that we've been... Look, I have my leg crossed now. That means it's legit. The interview is on, and I'm wearing ankle socks.
I know that leg cross, it's the leg cross that appears like he doesn't have a nutsack.
Yeah, exactly.
Because clearly, if you did, you wouldn't be able to sit that way.
And the bottom of his pants legs are up halfway to his shin.
Yes.
But, yeah.
He's wearing his Lululemon yoga pants then. And his little black socks.
It's kind of making me emotional. It's making me emotional because I'm thinking of my grandfather right now.
You can tell he's proud of the inks, though. He's showing off the inks pretty
ankle
big
heat.
Right now.
Ankle heat. It's all about the ankle heat now, guys.
Summer
of the ankle heat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll start that.
So this has been good so far, guys.
Have we even hit record yet?
Interview.
Right.
We have. This is on. People are hearing this. Do you believe that?
But
nice.
I think I speak for both of us when we were, obviously excited. We've both been big supporters of yours. Adam's more of a mark. I'm more of a supporter.
Right.
But we, throwback tag team. So we're super excited to see you guys finally make your main roster debut. So that'd be a pretty cool feeling for you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely a cool feeling. I think it's more of a cool feeling for my wife. She's a lot happier. But it is, and like you said, we've been called a throwback tag team, and I don't even think we look at it like that. We never even talked about it and said we want to be a throwback tag team. It's just one of those things where I grew up watching Mid-Atlantic and Arn and Tully and all these guys and the Midnights, and that's what I enjoy. And also I watched Heart Foundation and Rockers and all that stuff, but that's the kind of wrestling that I enjoy, so that's what we know. We never sat down and said, hey, we should do this to be different. Mm-hmm. It's just that's what we enjoy. And I think at the time we did talk about this. We wanted to live and die by the way we wrestle. We didn't want to wrestle like anybody else. We wanted to wrestle like us.
We always said we wanted to make sure that we had to be a team no matter what we did. Like whatever he did, like it wouldn't work if I wasn't there, and vice versa. We wanted to make sure that we just completed everything. So we were, what we say, work as a unit, win as a unit, because we wanted to be like, okay, this isn't about you do your thing, I'll do my thing, and we'll just see what happens. We wanted, this is a tag team. This is the two of us, and we got to reinvent everything that's been done. So.
Right.
Well, it's interesting, too, because a lot of the success of a tag team is truly the commitment between two guys kind of shelving their own ego and looking at this thing as, okay, we are now a brand together. We are a unit. And that goes, for me personally, that goes for the way you look in terms of your gear, in terms of how you work, and supplying each other as opposed to trying to make yourself look better. And that's one thing that I really appreciate that you guys do, is it really, you can tell you guys decided we're a team and we're going to go for this. And it seems like, not that you guys were the first guys doing it or anything like that, because you talk about Tully and Arn and the Midnights and all of that, but it just seems like you're the most current guys to truly take that feel from back then and make it current, so that it's a throwback, or what's old is new again. But I really appreciated that. I was like, okay, they got it figured out. They realized what they have to do to make their mark in this industry together.
Right, and also I'm sure that you and Jay can both speak about this, but we're friends before we're anything else. Mm-hmm. And so when we were talking about this, I was out with an ACL injury, and we were talking about this. Neither one of us wanted to outshine the other. We wanted to make sure that, just like you said, we worked together. So we had no selfish ambition. There was no jealousy. There still is no jealousy. And I'm sure you guys were the exact same way. You wanted to. Both of you were best buds, and you just wanted to make it. And you didn't look at it like you wanted to outshine or either way. You did.
Yeah. No, but totally you hit the nail on the head there. But I'll tell you, my first memory of you guys is, like I said before, Scott, you and I had met previously when I was going down to the Performance Center and helping out a little bit down there, when I was off with a couple injuries, and you were off with a knee injury. Mm-hmm. And so I was sitting in on some of the in-ring classes they were doing, and guys were in there doing stuff, and you were kind of on the outside just kind of watching this and that. And you and I had talked, we interacted, and I always, I liked you right away, because I could tell from talking to you, you were a lifelong wrestling fan. You loved it as a kid the same way that I did. And so a few weeks later I came back, and I guess you'd been cleared, and I hadn't seen you in the ring yet. So I was kind of interested, and then I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting what I saw. I know that. And when I saw you, I was like, this guy's a little bulldog. Like, not saying little, but I mean, there's some big guys, you know what I mean? You guys aren't little guys, but,
yeah, we're not.
Sometimes it's the land of the giants, right? And I just remember seeing this bulldog in the ring, and everything you did looked crisp and sharp, and you were working with this chip on your shoulder almost. Oh, yeah. And you looked like you wanted to rip everybody's head off. And I was like, it blew me away, because I wasn't expecting it. And I remember when you rolled out to the outside, I went over and I tapped you on the shoulder, and I said, keep doing that.
Oh, yeah.
And you just looked at me and nodded your head. And then I met you a few weeks later, Dash, and same kind of thing, but you were kind of getting your feet wet.
Yeah.
And you were just kind of, you were just coming into the Performance Center, and you were trying to kind of navigate the waters a little bit. And then I remember you've known Adam for a long time, and I was talking with Adam on the phone, and he said, how did Dash do? And I said, well, he's just kind of getting there. If he's anything like his partner, once he gets comfortable there, they're going to be completely fine. Just because you had that chip that I like, you know what I mean? Because I kind of had that too, a little bit on my shoulder, like something to prove all the time.
Exactly. And I remember when that's when I just called you Christian.
Yeah.
So obviously I was just trying to.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, years ago. So obviously, one, I was trying to impress you. Two, I wanted to impress myself too, because I was just coming back from this knee injury. But three, I think the biggest thing was, even when Dash got here, I had a huge chip on my shoulder. I'm a realist, so I know our limitations, and I know my limitations, what I can and can't do, how I look, how I can be perceived. And so in getting hired here, it was the biggest dream come true. Mm-hmm. I've told him this a million times. Dash has heard it. I'm sure he's sick of it, but to me, I look at wrestling as an entity. I love my wife. I love my kid. I'm a very religious guy, and I love wrestling. So I knew the limitations I had when they hired me, and I don't think they ever had any. I know they didn't have any specific plans for me to put me in a certain position. They were going to give me the opportunity to succeed, which they did, and I'm very happy for that. But they didn't have anything for me.
Sure.
And so I did have a chip on my shoulder because I saw people jumping above me, and it really, really bothered me. And I knew they couldn't. I knew that they weren't any better than me. But they were just getting somewhere because of certain reasons. And so I wanted to be able to work harder than them, have better matches than them, look more real than they did. So I guess the chip on my shoulder is something I've always had. Sometimes I get a little heat for it, but yeah. But all in all, it's helped me out more than anything, I think.
Yeah, for me, when
sorry, go on.
I was going to say, when I first came in, I knew they wanted me and Dawson to tag up, and I wasn't here very long. I was here maybe a month and a half, 2 months before we had our first match together, and my first match here was his first match back from ACL surgery. So I'm trying to play catch-up a little bit. I'm trying to acclimate myself to this style and also kind of find out my comfort zone. And it's like there were some growing pains for us. Like if you ever watched our early matches, it's pretty comical, actually. And like I never doubted what I could do. I never doubted my ability. I knew that like once I got comfortable, I knew like we would do exactly what we wanted to do. But just like Scott is obviously amazing. He's really good in the ring, and so
he just flicked his hair, by the way, and he's bald, so that tells
he was flicking his mutton chops out of his mouth. But like I wanted to be at that level, and I was trying to put too much on myself at once to adjust and to step up.
Sure.
And once I got there, like I was like, okay, I could feel myself calming down and getting there, and I was like, everything's slow now. It's slowing down, and like he helped so much as far as like, hey, just focus on this, think about that. Like he talked me through the adjustment period, and once it started clicking, like I remember we were riding back from one of the shows, and he has said, I think we're becoming a pretty good little tag team. And
yeah, it's interesting. You have to acclimate to wherever it is, whatever new job it is, and usually though you don't have someone that has already been there and say, okay, I want you to succeed because we can succeed better together. So it's great to be able to have that. And you could see when that started to gel, when it truly became, okay, these guys, they're on equal footing now, and they're working angry and with that chip on their shoulder. And you really do. You have to work angry. You have to, have that chip in order, we've said it before, you got to be a bit of an asshole in this industry in the ring in order to convey that to the audience. And you guys, you're really conveying that now. And it brings me to the point that you guys debut on Raw last week, and I was, super excited because, as Jay said, I'm a mark for you guys. He's just a supporter. I think my quote on the show was, "I built the Revival bandwagon before there was a bandwagon."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I give you all the credit for it.
And you guys came down when I saw you knock over that ice cream cart, and then Dash, I saw you stomp on it. I was like, pardon my language, but that's the fuck your couch Charlie Murphy moment. Like it was just like, oh man, he stomped it. There they are stomping up those stairs. They're making a statement right now. And it was similar to the statement that you made when you pushed Ciampa off the ropes at the NXT pay-per-view.
Yeah, the funny thing about the old ice cream cart is that was not talked about. That was not something
That's the best stuff.
It was just organic. And
yep.
We're walking out, and I'm just minding my own business. It's taking it all in. I look over, and Scott's bum rushing the ice cream cart and knocking it over. And I was like, oh, well, I got to do something now.
Well, it's also good, too, because, some people, it's different, even though, Raw is the flagship show, right? So when you're under those lights, no matter what you've done before that, it's different once you get under the lights. So some people fade. They don't know how to handle the pressure. You guys went out there and just did your thing and got into it right away and made a statement right off the bat. and that takes guts. And so I applaud you guys for doing that and staying true to what you are and what you want your tag team to be and how you want to be perceived. To me, that's exactly what you have to do.
Exactly, yeah. And when I was walking down the ramp, like he said, I didn't even know there was going to be an ice cream truck out there. I had no clue, but I saw it and it was right in my way. And I said, I've got to do it. I had so many. I told him this. I had so many thoughts going through my mind. Like, is the boss man? Is he going to be mad? Is he going to be upset? God, I got to do it. I have to take a chance. And if he gets mad, he'll either forgive me or maybe he'll like it. So I just bum rushed it over and then Dash.
Like I said, I just looked over and I'm like, well,
curb stomped it.
There goes the old ice cream truck. I said, I'm just gonna step on it now.
Yeah, it's great.
But it made for a great moment. Like I think that did so much more than any move we could have done or any big huge high spot we could have done. That done so much for Dash and myself because that was the first 20-25 seconds the people saw us and they could form an opinion right there.
Yeah, they knew what you were about right away.
Right.
Yeah,
it established what you guys are. Yeah, and if I'm watching that at home, I'm like, oh, okay. If I didn't see NXT, now I got a glimpse of what these guys are. So you remember that, and you remember the Shatter Machine, which I'd like to go into as well, because I personally think, since the 3D, it's my favorite tag team finisher that I've seen. Like I said, since 3D, and I put it on par with that. They're very similar to me.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we. I mean, we were just trying to think of different things, and that was another growing pain. We were on all the NXT live events, and we were just doing different things, and nothing was clicking. And obviously, we're a huge fan of the Dudleys and what they've done. Sure. And then we're a huge fan of Jericho's too, and so we were just trying different things of everybody. And one day I said, let's try this into this. I don't know if it's gonna maybe it'll kill somebody, but we can try. Let's just try. And we did, and thank God we haven't killed anybody yet. It looks like we have, but no one's passed away.
Well, I think to any established teams, especially the ones that go on to even have like legendary status. Like I think about the Road Warriors with the Doomsday Device, the Heart Attack Clothesline, the elbow drop from Demolition.
We didn't have one, Jay.
No, that's what I'm getting to at the end. I don't think we had one. But I mean, the Twist of Fate into the Swanton Bomb and the 3D. Like, I mean, you think, and like I said, the list goes on and on double drop kick from Rock and Roll Express. Every good tag team has that signature move that is kind of anticipated, and I think that's kind of cool that you guys figured that out and it gets a reaction. That's what you're looking for to get that big reaction.
Yeah, like you said, we tried so many different things, and there were some that weren't pretty at all. They
sure.
just I don't think I felt that one. But we knew we needed the exclamation point. We knew we needed something that, because we're not going to be out there flipping. We're not going to be doing a whole bunch of fancy things, but we needed something where people saw this and said, oh my God. And when we came up with that, we tried it a few times and we're like, yeah, I think that's it. And we didn't even try it like before a match ever. Like we tried it once in the soft ring just to see. And he was like, "You think you're good on that?" And I said, "Yeah, we'll get the timing down. We'll figure it out. Like, I think we're good." And sure enough, we did it in the first live event. We hit it. And we're like, "That's it. We got it."
There it is. Yeah. Well, it's interesting too. I remember we were driving down to Atlanta, I think, and picking up my theater chairs and talking about finishers. And I just remember telling you, it has to be something that you can hit on Brock Lesnar and actually believably have him sell. It has to be something you can hit amazingly on, like a Neville or something like that. And then you can take it to different levels off the top and things like that. But I remember saying, whatever it is, hit it consistently and have no one counter it for a long time. It has to be established. And then once it's established, then you can start getting into different nuances with it. And there's so many possibilities with that move.
Yeah. Dash, actually, the day after, he told me about the conversation you guys had, and Matt Bloom, the head coach at the PC, he said almost the exact same thing to us. He was like, "It's got to be a move you can hit on the big show, and it's got to be something that it looks like you could get the 3 count on him for." And that was the hardest thing for us because we're only 5'10" and we're 225 pounds. So finding a believable move that we could do something to the big show, that was the hardest thing. But once we found it, we knew that we could do it to anybody, and that we've done it to the Authors of Pain, which are 300-pound guys. Big Cass, we've hit Big Cass with it, who's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And it's so I think we found something that we can stick with for a while, and we're very fortunate to have found that.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I remember one that I pitched to you, Dash, was back suplex into a back cracker. And I was like, I don't think it's possible. It will be very hard to time. But then, man, I saw that and I was like, oh my God, they figured it out. They figured out, like, it's just a super cool move. I look forward to seeing the incarnations that you guys, come up with. And speaking of the one just this past Monday to Xavier. Wow. Man.
Yeah, we got to the back and we drove to our hotel and we got on our Twitter and it's full of GIFs of just that one move. And we realize now that the wrestling world is completely different. Yeah. Stories mean a lot. Stories mean, and we try to make our match a story, but sometimes you have to, in theory, you have to wrestle in GIF form. That's kind of how you get noticed and how you get over. And there were so many GIFs of that one moment.
Right. Well, the story sometimes is building to the moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's like you're building the story and you're creating a story and you're taking people on a journey, but you give them moments within that journey, and those are the moments that stand out. Like a good finish. Nothing's better than taking them on this ride and having them react and giving them the payoff, which is a big finish. So yeah, I think that's correct in a sense. As long you can give them the story and you can give them moments along the way too. That's what it's all about to me.
Exactly. Yep. And it was, like I said, our Twitter feed was filled with that. And I think we've got a lot of things in the back pocket for what we can do with the Shatter Machine, and I think people will be happy to see that when it happens.
Yeah, we brainstorm a lot different things we could do or try or want to get to eventually that we haven't even gotten close to scratching the surface on yet. But when we did the one on Monday on Xavier, if you watch it back in like slow mo, there's a point where we hit it and he's pretty much doing like a forehead stand.
Headstand.
And I'm on my back and I roll over to my side and I see that he's just on his head, and there's my face. I go into like, oh, we just killed him. And like I just have like my mouth kind of draped up a little bit.
And then you pie-faced him.
Yeah. Well, I had to help him over. He was stuck. But like if you just, they sent me a picture of it like on Twitter. Like my face is just like, oh, we just killed him. And then I realized, oh, got it. And I just put my serious face back on and shoved him over. It's all right, that's it. But that face for that split second, I laugh every time I see it.
Now, for a little bit of history, to kind of rewind back a little bit, Scott, I had only met you after you had started teaming with Dash, but old Dash and I go back because he's from Asheville and I moved here, was training at Gold's Gym. I walked in. This very respectful young guy comes up to me, "Hey, sir, nice to meet you. I'm a fan." I was like, "Cool, man." Didn't think anything of it. I don't know, 5-6 months later, one of the other trainers comes up to me and goes, "He's a wrestler, right?" I was like, "What?" I mean, usually that's the opening salvo for an independent wrestler, is to say, "Hey, I wrestled, da-da-da." So I went up to him. I was like, "Hey, man, I didn't know you were a wrestler. Shoot me some tapes," which shows you how dated I am. And I said, "Okay, well, actually, no, just send me the links then. I get it. Okay." So I started watching stuff and I was like, whoa, okay, this guy's talented. It's not just one of those weekend warrior type deals. So from there, he'd keep firing me matches and I keep, pulling them apart and saying, what about this here? What about this here? What about this here? Until finally, it was, we talked to Regal and Regal said, go to Mexico. So he did. Go to Japan. So he did. Go to England. So he did. Pulling all these different, tools to put in his tool belt, his star-shaped screwdrivers, if you will. And then eventually got down to NXT, told me he was going to start teaming with you, Dawson, and I was like, okay, cool. Then I checked in with Jay. Jay said, no, this Dawson guy is the real deal. He's very crisp, and it could work really well. So super excited. A little bit of history there, because I don't think anybody knows your guys' history really before you got to NXT and what you guys went through to get there. So explain a little bit about that, both of you.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't in Ring of Honor, we weren't in PWG, we weren't in like the higher profile independents. So like we kind of, both of us flew under the radar a little bit there. Like we both traveled, we both like.
Did you guys, you both being from North Carolina, did you know each other, or were you friends then, or were you just acquaintances, or how'd that go?
We met a few years before he got here. Mm-hmm. It's like we formed a friendship then based off Bret Hart. Like we met at an extra spot, and he said, like, we're talking, and He's like, we just talking wrestling. Who's your favorite? I said, my first favorite was Bret. And he goes, and he's if you know Scott, you know that he's got the biggest man crush on Bret Hart. So like
nothing to be ashamed of.
That immediately set like, okay, we can be friends.
Yeah.
And it just kind of rolled from there.
This guy's a decent guy. That's what I thought in my head.
Isn't that funny? You can base friendships over who your favorite wrestler is.
Oh yeah.
Let's be honest.
A lot about a person.
You guys just really want to be Canadian.
No, I do.
I used to be billed from Canada.
Did you?
I do want to be Canadian. There's no doubt. I've always said that. But yeah, just like you said, we never had an opportunity to go to Ring of Honor and PWG, so no one knew who we were. I mean, like, so in 2008-ish or 9-ish, I can't remember. Both my mom and dad, they lost their job exactly, like literally within 2 weeks of each other. And I was in college, and I was working a job, but they were kind of helping me support my tuition and things like that. And as soon as they lost their job, they couldn't help anymore. And so I had to jump on 2 more jobs because I'd always promised my dad I'd finish college. So I had to take on 2 more jobs, and I was in college, and I just had no time to travel around. I still wrestled. I wrestled every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I always had a place to go, but I never got a chance to go to Ring of Honor and go to PWG and go to all these places that were catching.
Because you had to be back for home for work on Monday.
Right, work on Monday, and I had to study for all my exams and everything. But once I finally graduated from college, I was allowed to travel more and to do more things. And so I went to Japan, and I was dating my current wife at the time. And I went to Japan, and I told myself in Japan, I said, you know what? I don't think the WWE wants someone like me. They don't want someone who's 5'10" and who wrestles the way that I do. And they want someone, because at the time they had a lot of guys that looked great, and I don't know if you know, but I don't look great.
Oh, you're a body guy.
Yeah. So I told myself when I come back from Japan, I said, you know what? I've got an opportunity to wrestle in Japan. That was one of my dreams. I can cross that off. I'm going to come home now. I'm going to use my degree, and I'm going to get a job. I'm going to ask my girlfriend to marry me, and we're just going to live a simple life in North Carolina. And literally, when I came back from Japan, Regal he shot me an email. And how did he get that? He shot me an email, said he was interested. They wanted to give me a shot. They did. And the rest
how did he see your footage?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I have no idea. I don't know if he saw some Japan stuff or
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how he figured it out, but he sent me an email, and it was, obviously I freaked out a little bit.
Sure.
And put the retirement on hold, and everything happened, and I don't know. Doors opening, I know this is so cliche, but doors open and close for a reason. Whatever, whether you think it's fate or, it's the big man upstairs, or you just think it's happenstance. Everything happens for a reason. And even though sometimes I've had a bad attitude or sometimes I've been upset, I'm so thankful and so happy that things happened the way they did, because now we're on Raw together. I'm traveling with one of my best friends in the world. I'm able to support my beautiful wife and my perfect daughter through professional wrestling, and I couldn't be happier with life.
Yeah, we have the best opportunity we could imagine in front of us, like as things stand. And if things had gone differently, we might not have the chance we do right now. And I think that we have a pretty good chance at the future on Raw.
Well, here's the thing too. And just going off what you guys were talking about before, also, you came in, got a chance. There was no specific plans for you, but you created your own opportunity. Exactly. So it's something to be proud of.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, now you guys are traveling together. You're on Raw now. So the future is obviously there for the taking for whatever you want, because you work for everything. So I just think with that attitude also just kind of when a door is open, like you said, don't just be happy it's open. Kick the thing wide open, and then go through the next one. That's what it's all about.
That Adam always said. He's like, somebody can only help open the door so far, but once there's a crack, you have to kick it open. Like, so for me starting out, like my family was very poor growing up, like very, very poor. So like I moved out when I was 16. I haven't lived with my parents since I was 16. I was just kind of on my own. I got a job. I was doing school, like paid my own rent. Like I had a room with some friends. And like there was no money to train, but like I had a group of friends that loved wrestling like I did, and like that's all we wanted to do. It's all we talked about. We built our own ring. Like we trained ourselves. Like that's how I got started. I trained myself like on a homemade ring in a backyard in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, and like some of the guys like ended up fading out of it. They just grew out of it, and I never lost that passion for it. It only like I was like, God, I got to do this. I got to be a pro wrestler, and like we got a chance to go to like the first local indie where they let us set up the ring, and like if you guys get the ring set up before doors open, you can get in there and you can move around. And we're like, oh hell yeah! So like we got that ring up as fast as possible, and like we get in there. I take the first bump, and I'm like, oh,
why?
This is amazing.
Wake up call.
And like that was it. Like I was like, okay, we got to do this. And then I was able to get Bill Barron's contact info, and I sent him a message and said, hey, I want to come to NWA Wildside. I want to train there. I know like guys like AJ have been through there in the Hardys, and you guys were developmental for WCW. I want to do that. I want to learn. And so I was able to go down there, and I learned so much there. Like that was kind of where I got my education. I still say like in wrestling to start branching out more. And then fast forward a few years, like Adam said, I was working at a gym in Asheville, and I was off that day. I guess he came in and joined, but my boss, who's a huge wrestling fan, he called me and he said, dude, Edge just came in and joined the gym. And I thought he was joking with me. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And he's like, no, I'm dead serious. He just came in here. He just signed up. He's a member now.
And you're like, what's Edge doing in the gym?
I said, that's not a body business,
have you
brother.
seen him? He does. So rewind a little bit. My first Raw I ever went to. I don't know if I even told you this, Adam. So true confession time. Oh. The first Raw I ever got to go to, I was maybe 16 or 17, and I had a homemade poster with like the Edge poster that said I'm an Edge head on it. So that was my first. So Edge on one side, Stone Cold on the other. Don't worry.
Okay.
I thought you were just going to say it was a live sex thing. So I was worried. I was like,
no. Just so first Raw I ever went to, I was a fan, but like so I was a huge fan of him growing up, and they like come to find out he does work out at the gym that I work at now, and he's rehabbing his Achilles, and I would just go in there and I'd see him around and I'd talk to him. Like I didn't want to be the guy who like, hey, watch this, do this, please, like push it on, like force it on him. Like if he wanted to help eventually, like more power to him, but if not, like he's a cool guy. I want to like I get to talk to one of my favorite wrestlers growing up, and so we just talk and kind of ask how his Achilles like rehab was going,
right.
And then I guess eventually, my boss told him like, hey, he wrestles. And he came up to me and he was like, hey, man, like, here's my email. Shoot me some stuff. And I was like, wow. Okay, yeah, sure.
What a guy.
Yeah, like, and at this point, like, he might have been either coming back from the Achilles or he just came back and won the world title. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's world champion
I
this
think
time.
This guy might know what he's doing, so maybe I should get him some stuff.
The world champion of WWE just told me to send him some stuff and he'll watch it and get back to me. Like, who does that? You don't have to do that, but of course, I'm going to take advantage of that, and I sent him some stuff.
Well, I mean, speaking for Adam, because he probably won't say it, but I will. Like, I mean, he probably saw the passion in you that we had when we were first breaking in, right? So it's like as long as you have that want to learn and to get better, usually people don't mind passing their knowledge on. That's what it's all about. That's what the business is all about. That's how people get better. So I think that's probably what he saw in you.
Yeah, it's surreal to me to think that the guy who had just came back from injury and won the world title was asking, hey, send me some stuff and I'll watch it without me even like prompting it.
All right, guys, he's right here. We don't have to put him over too much.
Yeah, I got to throw something in here because I'll tell you who will do that. Bret Hart did that for me.
Oh, let's talk about him, huh?
So yeah, this comes full circle, and we get your love of Bret Hart in there. Bret was the guy who really opened the door for me with WWF, and he was world champion at the time, had just got his knee cleaned out. He was down at his place. I got the call from the Canadian president of WWF at that time. He said, get up to Bret, show him what you can do. He's got a ring set up in his pool room. So I flew out there penniless. Johnny Smith took me in, put a roof over my head, drove me to Bret's every day. I'd get in and train. And Bret did that for me. And I always told myself, I want to do that for somebody, but you also want to make sure that you think that person deserves it and that they have the skill and that they have all of those things. So it's not like I was just walking around and telling people, yeah, okay, come on here, shoot me some matches. I saved that. I made sure it was someone that I thought was deserving of it. So toot your own horn there, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah, what a great guy Bret is, huh? What a great guy Bret is. Do you think he listens to your podcast? Yeah, oh yeah, he does. I'm sure he definitely.
You know what? I'll shoot him a text and tell him to listen to this one.
Yeah, shoot him my number too.
I'll shoot him a text too. Also.
Have you met Bret yet?
Have I met? Okay, so here's my meeting Bret story. Okay.
Oh boy. Okay.
I was at WrestleMania. We were at WrestleMania 31, I think it was, and Bret was in the catering. And this is no joke. I was with a couple of my friends and that worked with us, and they all said, "Go say hello. Go say hello." Okay, I'm going to do it. Just like a movie scene, I walk up to him and I immediately turn around and I say, "I can't do it. I can't do it." Like he's a hot girl, which I mean he's a hot guy, but I'll do that. And so
sweating through his shirt.
So I leave and I come back to catering, and he's still there and he's watching the show, and he's sitting down with some of his friends and I think his wife maybe. And I'm with Baron Corbin now, and Baron Corbin says, "Dude, you've got to do it. You've got to go tell him how much he means to you." And I was like, "You know what? I've got to. Yeah, hell yeah." So I built myself up.
I owe this to him.
And so I don't know. Have you ever watched 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yep.
There's a point in the movie where he has this big crush on a girl who runs an eBay store, and he calls her a few times, and the first thing he does, she says hello. He says, "Oh," and he hangs up. That's exactly what I did to Bret the second time I walked up to him. I walked up to him right into his face, and I looked at him, and I said, "Ugh," and I turned around and walked off. So that was the second opportunity. The third time he was making a salad or something. He was eating something. I don't know. He was in line to get food, and of course he's got a plate in his hand. So I think this has got to be the perfect opportunity. So I'm by myself. No one's hyped me up. No one's got my engine going. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. And I said, I tapped on his shoulder. "Mr. Hart, hi, nice to meet you, Mr. Hart. Listen, I'm a huge fan of yours, and I would love nothing more than a selfie." And he says, "Okay, do you want me to hold it, or should I? Should you hold it?"
And I love the fact that you lost the accent there too.
Yeah. I go from North Carolina to Midwest real quick. Yeah. And so we took a selfie together, and I said, "Thank you, sir," and I walked off. Never told him how much he meant to me.
Here's a funny Bret story. The first time I actually kind of met him, and I don't think I even... So Adam said that he had gone out to his place, and Bret obviously saw that Adam had talent and said, "Hey, we were going out to wrestle on the East Coast for the summer." And so we asked Adam what his plans were. He's like, "Oh, I'm going out to wrestle on the East Coast." He goes, "Okay, we'll keep in touch, and then when you're done out there, come back in the fall." So we were out there touring the East Coast of Canada, and Adam and I were teaming at this point in time. And Leo Burke, who was training some guys at Bret's place while Bret was on the road, Bret had a ring set up in his indoor pool room in his house.
I remember it from Wrestling with Shadow.
Yeah. So I guess Bret or Leo had called back to Bret, kind of give him a progress report of some of the guys that were there, and he's like, "What's Adam doing?" He's like, "Oh, he's wrestling in this team with this other guy," and he's like, "Well, who's the other guy?" So then they didn't tell us that, but Adam had called Bret like once a month or something just to keep in touch with him. Bret's like, "Hey, who's the guy you've been teaming with?" So Adam told him about me, and he's like, "Well, when you come back out in the fall, tell him to come if he wants to come." So I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm coming." So we basically took the money we made and we went out to Calgary, and we were training. So he's back on the road at this point in time, and it was an off day, and we were down there training, and I remember seeing him kind of come down the stairs, and he was on the phone, and he sat on one of those kind of lounger chair, like a lounge chair where you lay down, put your feet up.
Right.
Indoor pool though. So,
dude, so cool.
So now I'm like, now I gotta get in. Now I gotta get in there and really, I gotta get in the ring here and show off my stuff because Bret's here.
Speedos.
So I get in. First thing I do, he's on the phone talking, but he's watching what's going on in the ring. So I jump in, think I'm cool. I'm gonna show him how awesome I am. Boom, boom, boom. Shoot. I say, "Hey, reverse." I can't remember who I was in the ring with. Reverse. I hit the ropes. I fell through the ropes. I fell through the middle and the top rope, and like didn't even take a bump because I was trying to catch myself. So it was all caught up in the ropes, and legs are flailing everywhere, and I my face is scratched from hitting the rope. And I get up and I turn around, and I look at Bret, and Bret's looking at me on the phone. He gets up and turns around and walks out of the room. I went, "Oh my God, what did I just do?" And I just went and sat down in the corner. Don't think I moved for the rest of the day.
Gave him a glimpse of the E&C dynasty.
Yeah. So I don't think he's gonna maybe see me as that was my Bret story.
So that's the partner, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, right now in my dining room, I have a 6-foot cutout stand-up of Bret Hart. My wife has completely redecorated our house, and I don't care as long as I've got a bed to sleep in. I don't care what it looks like. But that's the one thing I've made her keep from 1996 was the 6-foot tall Bret Hart stand up, and it's sitting in my room are sitting in our dining room right now, overlooking us as we eat dinner, as we say our prayers for dinner, and he's part of the family now. Bret's part of my family.
So all you need is a bed and Bret Hart, and you're good.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Do you guys have Bret involved in your conversations during dinner?
Well, sometimes
let's ask Bret, see what he thinks.
I get advice from him, life advice from him. He doesn't say much, but I know he means well. You know?
Right. He's always there looking over your shoulder.
Exactly. That knowing look. It's a very knowing look that you got this.
So now that we got the Bret Hart love out of the way,
it's never out of the way.
Well, okay, it's always going to be there. It's always lingering. It's always it's always going to be there. But I want to get to your NXT experiences, and because you guys were there basically 2.5 years, correct?
Dash was here for about 2.5 years.
3 years.
But as a team together on television and starting to make your way. So throughout that time, I mean, you guys had some great matches with Enzo and Cass. You had the Vaudevillains, eventually American Alpha, and then DIY. I mean, especially the matches with Alpha and DIY stand out. And I think they stand out to a lot of wrestling fans, and it's all subjective, but match of the year candidates and things like that. And again, subjective, but like the greatest series of tag team matches back to back to back in terms of, the quality of the matches. If you guys were to pick out where you think it switched for you, where it changed for you, where you felt like, okay, this is what we have to do going forward. These are the cylinders we need to be firing on. When do you think it was?
I think as far as like you're saying, the cylinders we need to fire on and what we need to do, I think honestly our first match with Alphas, and I'll tell you why. It was in Dallas. It was our first we've had takeover matches before, but it was our first the one where we were kind of the focus was kind of put on us a bit. And we knew Alphas wanted to outperform us. They wanted to go as hard as they wanted to go harder than we did. They wanted to be better than us. And there's no way I'm going to let that happen. And so I know Dash too. I'm not going to let it be better than me. I know there's only one man in the world that can lace my boots, and that's me. They can't do it. And and they're great guys, but I'm not going to let them outperform me. So we went into Dallas, and we knew we had some stiff competition, but we wanted to go in there and tear the house down and wanted people to remember that match. So I think that's when it started, we started firing on all cylinders. But when I think things changed for us was the next takeover the end, where we won the NXT championships back from them. That match to me is maybe my favorite tag match we had. It was just such an emotional roller coaster, and we could do callbacks from Dallas and a lot of different things. And I think that's when things changed for us there.
Yeah, for me, I feel it started changing a little bit earlier, but I felt like up until Dallas, we were always kind of overlooked as far as the matches went, versus the other teams. With the Vaudevillains, I feel like they always were the talked about team. With Enzo and Cass, obviously everybody loves them. They're one of the most popular acts we had. So maybe around Roadblock after the second one with Enzo and Cass, people were starting to maybe think that, these guys might be better than we thought.
The good little hands.
They're a recurring theme here.
Yeah,
they keep popping up in these matches.
Yeah,
and then we started working live events with the Alphas, and you could just tell right away, there's some chemistry here, but we hadn't really scratched the surface of it yet and pushed the limits. And each live event, we just kept upping it. And then by the time Dallas rolled around, both teams, we were both pretty new. We both started being featured on television in the Dusty Classic at the same time. So we're kind of on the same trajectory as far as that. And then the match is as it's over, I remember thinking wow, I think people are gonna
something special.
Yeah, they're gonna realize that we're not just gonna fade into obscurity. We're here.
Just gonna be not gonna be another team. You want to be the team, right?
Exactly.
So it's and I get it, and all those times where maybe not, it's not your turn yet, but you're still turning in these quality performances, but in a weird way, it also makes that chip a little bit bigger that we talked about before, right? So when you get that chance, you're just going to keep doing your thing. You're going to go out there and keep having great matches. And I think it says a lot about you guys, too, that you kind of stepped up and became, forced your way into being the featured team on the NXT brand. You know what I mean? Sometimes it works out that way for guys.
Yeah, and I think also that a lot of the credit goes to, it sounds like I'm going to be politicking a lot, but it goes to Matt Bloom, because we would go to Matt Bloom and we'd ask for more always, and we always annoyed him, always bothered him because we wanted more. He would say, okay, you've got this match and you got 15 minutes. No, can we get 20? You know what I mean? Okay, well, you fine, do 20. And so we would take things and we would demand, not demand. That sounds jerkish, but we would demand things. We want this. We've got to have this. We want this much time. We want a 2 out of 3 falls match. We were in Gainesville, Florida, and in front of, it was a packed house, but it was like 400 people. And we were like, we want a 2 out of 3 falls match. We want to go over 30 minutes. And they said, okay, if you want it, go for it. And we did it. And I think that they saw that, or Matt saw that. And obviously he would tell Hunter and say, hey, you've got to give these guys an opportunity. Not just us, but us.
Well, there's a difference too between wanting it and then wanting it and going out and not only meeting expectations but exceeding them. So when you ask for it or demand something,
you got to deliver.
You got to deliver, or you're dead in the water.
Yeah, if we ask for 30 minutes and we go out there and we completely just drop it, then you're 10 minutes next time.
Yeah. And I think we're so confident in our abilities.
If you drop a turd in the ring, then
you ask for 30 minutes and people are leaving halfway through.
Well, now I won't say this, but or I'll say this. You guys don't have to say this, but so now you guys are the pillar of the tag team division down in NXT, and it seems like you're almost starting to groom teams to get ready to send them up to SmackDown or Raw. If you look at Alpha in particular, it's like, okay, you got them ready to go up. And then you guys stay and you keep plugging away. And now you're 2-time tag team champions, first ever. And then DIY comes in. And I was like, are they going to do this again? Are they going to get these guys, through their series? Are they going to call them up? Or are they going to finally call these guys up? And then we get, what we had right after WrestleMania. So that had to feel validating, vindicating, to finally realize that you're going up to Raw. But so now here's the thing. How do you keep that chip on your shoulder?
Oh, now everything starts over again. I don't think we're ever going to not have that chip. And to go back to, if you look at what we said, it started with when we got here and we were a team and there was no red carpet rollout for us. There was no video package. There was no build up or anything. It was just, we were on TV the first time. We lost in 3 minutes to Mojo and Bull. So, to go from that to where we are now, it's vindicating, but it doesn't take that away. It doesn't take away the fact that we never want people to overlook us. It doesn't take away the fact that we never want to be the team that people see as the secondary team. We always want to be the absolute best.
Right, and then I get that too because I've always said this too. Getting there and staying there are two different things. Yeah. And when you get there, you want to go as far as you possibly can.
Yep.
And I had this little saying, and I said this to myself every day when I walked into the arena. When I grabbed my bags, and I said this in my head, not out loud. I said, today they're going to remember how good you are. Mm-hmm. And I'd walk into the building. I said that to myself every day. And I think as long as you have that desire, that need to prove something every time, I think that I see that in you guys, and I hear that, and I see it when it comes through when you guys wrestle to me, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, just like both of you guys said, I think there are a lot of. I don't think there's one specific chip on our shoulder, Yeah. I think there's a lot of different ones. Like in NXT, we wanted to show that we're the best team you've got, and then we wanted to show we can steal the show, and then we wanted to show that we can be the main event, or we should be the main event. And, then we get called up, and so now the chip is we want to show a national audience, a worldwide audience, who we are, and that we're the best tag team that they've ever seen. And then when we get an opportunity to be tag team champions, that chip is going to go. That chip is going to be we want to be the best tag team champions you've ever had. And then whenever we've hopefully, whenever we've accomplished that, we want to say, okay, well, watch this. We can main event this show and make you remember us over everybody else, on this pay-per-view or on this Raw or whatever. So I think the chips never go away. They just change.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're like a damn stegosaurus.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a poker game.
You're the stegosaurus of tag team wrestling. Yeah. I like it. Well, and, Christian brought up a good point. It's, getting there and then staying there, but then beyond that, there's exceeding there. And it sounds like that's exactly what you guys are focused on, which is cool. And this is why I think it gets even cooler, because now you have the Hardys come back at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Which is huge. Mm-hmm. It's massive. And you have an established tag team division on both shows. Now, Jay and I talked about this, and I said, what's interesting about the Hardys is that I feel like they had 15 years ago. We always likened it as, Jay and I were the Midnight Express. They were the Rock and Roll Express, and the Dudleys were LOD. And they were able to have those feuds. But fast forward all these years, and where I see it going, at least I hope, because I think of the matches, is they now have their Arn and Tully in you. And that's in no way marginalizing any of our teams, but we all grew up watching that. So that's what we relate to. And I just think it says a lot about them, but it also says a lot about you guys and what I think that match could be.
Well, thank you. And, we're obviously, that's the one that we're looking forward to. We grew up idolizing, God, you guys are, Jay's staring right at me, but we grew up idolizing you guys.
Smoldering him.
Yeah. I mean,
is he smoldering? He's giving you that look, too. Yeah. Oh, man.
Blue steel, bro.
Blue magnum.
Dude, piercing me right now.
Just stop the throwing stuff.
Puckered lips and all. But no, I mean,
we're on the same chair right now.
Dude, I'll get off of you. Sorry.
They're in the same pants right now.
But
does he still have his legs crossed like that?
No, it's worse. They're spread wide open.
Oh, no. Oh, the flying squirrel's out. Okay.
Yeah. But Jesus.
Kayfabe, brother.
Let's edit that one out. But seriously, we idolize you guys. Like we wanted to be where you were. I mean, I love sports, or I did love sports. I watched football, and I watched movies and all that stuff. But you guys are the people that I wanted to be. That you guys are the people that were hanging on my walls. Like I wanted to be you. I wanted to be the Hardys, and so to know that we have an opportunity to work with one of our idols is an amazing feeling. But on the same page, there's no way that I'm going to let Matt and Jeff, no way they're going to outperform me, and no way they're going to be better than me. They're not a better tag team than me and Dash. In my brain, there's not a better tag team in the world than me and Dash. And so when the match time comes, if it does approach, I think the fans will be in for a treat, but the little 12-year-old boy, the 13-year-old boy,
away.
He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Dash and Dawson, and it's our time. And I know that I'm not going to let them outshine me or overshadow me and Dash. It's just not going to happen.
Because you want to be the guys that are up on some kid's wall.
Yep.
That they want to be like. You guys want to be that now.
I pop in a bootleg Hardy's DVD all the time. I've got a ton of them. Dash can attest to it. I pop in a bootleg Hardy's DVD now because I idolize them so much. And 15 or 20 years from now, I want whatever the technology is, I want them to say, hey, let's watch a Dash and Dawson match and let's try to study that, and I want to eclipse them. I want to eclipse what the Hardys have done.
Yeah, like wrestling, like tag team wrestling especially, goes through the boom periods where there was the 80s where you had the Midnight Rockers, you had Rock and Roll, you had Arn and Tully, you had Heart Foundation in the 90s and stuff like that, and you had so many great teams, and then it kind of went away for a little bit. And then you guys brought it back, like Edge and Christian, the Hardys, the Dudleys. There was so many like memorable, historic, legendary matches that you guys had. And like I said, we grew up idolizing that and watching that and like, I want to do that. And like for me, like I don't know if it's the same for Dawson, but like Matt and Jeff kind of showed me that you can be from a place in North Carolina that's not really well known. You can be in the middle of nowhere, but you can still make it to like
be from Boys Camp Road in Cameron, North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, like wow, they're from North Carolina and they're in the middle of nowhere and they can still make it to there. Like I can do that. So like it kind of inspired me. And now like we want the tag team boom period to come back, and we want to spearhead it. So we want Dash and Dawson to beat the Hardys. We want Dash and Dawson to beat the American Alpha. Every team that comes, we want to be better than. And we're not going to stop until we are one of the best, if not the best tag team of all time. That's just the mentality that we work with.
That's the ultimate chip, being the best ever.
Sure.
Yeah, like you said, there's people who there's getting there and they're staying there, but then there's people who, like us, when we get there, we get a bigger chip because now, like, okay, people might doubt us. Like we've proved them wrong once. Now we're starting over. We're going to have to prove them wrong again.
Well, I've said it before, too. If you don't believe you're the best, why should the person sitting in the crowd believe it? You know what I mean? You have to put that out there. That has to be your aura. That every time you step in there, you believe that you're the best, and you have to transmit that to the entire, not just the live crowd that's there, but across your TV screens and all these sorts of things. You have to believe it in order for them to believe it.
And then you got to make the big man believe it. Mm-hmm. He's got to believe it more than anybody.
And you got to prove it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, and guaranteed when you guys, pushed over that ice cream cart, stomped on that cart, I guarantee you, you're worried what he thought. I guarantee you he was like, all right, they're making sure they get noticed. You keep doing things like that, and there's no choice. You ask for forgiveness after. That's the way this works. Yep. And I also want to tell you guys that there's already people getting into this industry or starting out in this industry. They're already studying your matches, so don't worry about that. Now it's just building that legacy, my friends.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the plan, and that's all we want to do. So now, can we ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the D&D podcast.
Yeah, it's our turn. Real quick. Yeah, speaking of that, I saw
flipping it on us, huh?
Yeah, I saw the logo or the picture you put out, and you guys were way bigger than us, and you were right in front of us. Could you not have put us in the forefront? Everybody knows who you are. Help us out.
Well, here's the thing. This is the only thing we have to keep ourselves over.
Oh, okay.
Right? So let's be honest. We're going to take advantage of it.
I thought they were just life-size pictures.
I didn't know. I forgot. I thought it was all the legendary matches you had that kept you guys over.
Yeah, that too. But here's the funny thing is when we did that, there's two of you, not one of you. So your heads have to become smaller to fit into the square. But I guess we probably could have done maybe one square for each of you and just done it as big.
Or just put your name there and give us the whole graphic.
You just want it all?
Just ask us for a pick next time.
So,
we'll pick one out and send it.
So what I want to know is what I will start with. Go ahead. I was about to completely take over. I'm Johnny Carson.
Well,
now.
Full disclosure, that was Jay that put that together, and plus our heads, that's pretty much true to life. Our heads are massive. Like you could watch a movie on my forehead.
What do you call it? The Neanderthal head, right?
It's a 5-head.
5-head. Yeah. Jay, what is your favorite tag team match ever?
My favorite tag team match ever that I was involved in?
No, just your favorite one to watch.
Ooh, man.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I mean, I have so many. Maybe this is like dead air time.
Come on, Jeopardy's playing right now, dude.
Ask Adam, I'm tell you mine.
Adam, what's yours? Or do you have one? A favorite tag match ever?
Okay. It's going to be tough to narrow down to just one, but if I'm going to, it's going to have to be something from the Hart Foundation and the British Bulldogs.
Oh, baby. Mm-hmm. Oh, baby. I love that.
I was going to say Hearts and Tully and Arn.
Yeah, Hearts and Tully and Arn, that's a great one. My favorite one, there's a Midnight Express versus Fantastics match that took up the whole hour of NWA Worldwide. And that is my favorite tag. It's my favorite. I think it's my favorite free TV match of all time too. But it's my favorite tag. They just all the moving parts, how beautifully they come in and out, and and the finish is just the people go crazy for it. I love it. I think it's art.
Yeah, I mean, and when it's done right, it is art, right? And I'm like I said, it's so hard for me to say narrow down to one match. I've watched so many amazing tag matches in my life. But yeah, I'm the same way. I think it has to be something with the Hart Foundation, the British Bulldogs. And I can't. I'm drawing a blank.
Sorry about the background noise. I'm weed eating.
Matt, is
that's
that
okay. I got to give a side note. I also have to give props and to my other right up there with Bulldogs Hart Foundation is Brainbusters Rockers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh baby, yeah. Oh yeah. That's probably those trilogy of matches are the ones I've probably studied the most. I've got tons and tons and tons of bootleg DVDs.
You know what other matches were amazing? If you watch any AWA, were Bad Company. And the Midnight Rockers. Mm-hmm. They always had amazing matches too. Yeah,
Midnight Rockers and Nasty Boys had some really good ones.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's such a. At that point, it just comes down to personal preference, right? Because there's so many amazing matches that are out there.
Personal preference day of the week,
right?
Dick Murdoch and Adrian Adonis. Their stuff sometimes can be incomparable.
No, it's okay. You're from North Carolina.
Exactly. Yeah, I can get away with
it.
Incomparable. Nice. Wow. He's the smart one, I guess, out of the four of us.
I go to online college.
Almost got your degree.
Well, guys, I know, Scott, you got a birthday party to go to for that adorable little baby yours. But I would just like to say that I'm very, very proud of you guys. I know, everybody's going to be like, man, he's in love with these guys. But I'm super, super proud of you guys. I feel a very close connection to what you guys are doing. Super proud to see you guys go out in there on Raw, and I can't wait to see where it goes. And also for keeping the art of team wrestling alive and well.
Yeah, and I'd like to echo those as well. And also, obviously, tag team wrestling means a lot to Adam and I. It put us on the map. It made us what we are, what we became in our singles careers. None of that would have happened if we didn't have tag team wrestling. So it's great to see it done and done right.
Thank you. And I want to say thank you to, you guys, for not just for having us, but for everything you've done. And I don't think this gets said a lot. I think it gets overlooked, but the people and the guys in the past too, like the rock and roll, Arn and Tully that we've talked about, but also people like Ronnie Garvin and people, Iron Mike Sharp. Thank all those. I want to thank all those. I love wrestling, and I thank them for giving me, for allowing me to have the life that I have. And man, I hope you guys know how much of a hero you are to us.
Yeah, thank you guys, like all of you guys, especially like for helping pave the way and set an example, and for giving back the way you guys have, because without you guys, there is no us.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. You're gonna make me cry for real. Actually,
it's getting all
before we go,
now.
Scott, I ask if you don't mind saying your daughter.
Yes.
I don't know if you feel comfortable saying her name. If not, don't. But I found it hilarious when you told me the story of how your daughter got her name and that your wife had no clue what was going on. And I just, if you feel comfortable telling it, talk, because I thought it was hilarious.
So I am, thank God she's turned into the cutest girl in the world, and I am that father that back when fathers had pictures in their wallets and they would just shove them in your face. I'm that guy, but I'm on Facebook and that guy. But my daughter's name is Finley, and I am infatuated with Fit Finley matches. I love Fit Finley, and he's one of my favorite. He's
awesome.
He's incredible, and he's a producer now. So sometimes it's hard for me to go up to him and just say hello.
And the coolest guy, like he's so cool. Nice and so smart. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, so it's so hard for me just to go up and say hello to him because I've idolized him and studied him so much. But I wanted to name my first kid, boy or girl, Finley, and so my wife and she was pregnant. We were going through names, and I said, well, hey, what do you think about Finley? And she thought about it. She said, that's an awesome name, Finley. And she says, it could be Finley Gray. I was like, hell yeah, it could be Finley Gray. You're right. Yeah, I'm really good at this.
It could be Finley Fit.
Yeah,
it could be Finley Fit. Yeah.
Finley Fit Dawson. I like it.
So she agreed to it, and then I finally told her how it came about right before we gave birth. And I said, Finlay, and she says, no, it's EY, okay? And I said, okay, yeah, okay, I'll compromise. So that's where that came from.
Man.
That's great.
Yeah, Finley's really one of the only guys that I think can make a drop toe hold look like a street fight. Like just a violent looking gentleman. So I appreciate that.
Speaking of violent gentlemen, thanks guys. Thanks for joining us. It was a real pleasure, and thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules.
Yeah, anytime.
Thanks for having us.
Sorry, it took an extra hour with Jay trying to set up the machine.
Thanks for shutting off your electronics.
Now I got to take all this apart with a Starhead screwdriver.
I got 3 right here.
Circuit City J, that's what I call him.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You're listening to E&C's Pod of Awesomeness.
Well, that was a fun interview. Cool guys, man. The thing is, what I like about those guys is obviously they're like us. They grew up huge wrestling fans, love what they do, and we hear so many people use the term "I want to be the best in the world," and they might say it, but not necessarily mean it. But when these guys say it, I believe it, and I like that about them, that they have the belief in themselves, that they really do have what it takes to be the best tag team, and I really think they believe it. And I saw it in their eyes when we were talking to them, and I look forward to seeing what they're going to do here on Raw.
Yeah, it's going to be fun times. Fun times to be a fan of tag team wrestling, if the last 2-3 years hasn't already. But I've always said tag team wrestling, you can double the amount of things that you can do, double the story, double the drama, double the build, all of that. So, it's going to be really fun. Like we mentioned, Revival versus Hardys, let alone all the other teams that are there right now. Mm-hmm. It's going to be good times. Good times. So now, full transparency here. We recorded the intro to this podcast on a Tuesday before SmackDown aired, and we talked about how Michael Hayes came up with this idea for a House of Horrors match,
right?
A haunted house match, I think is what we actually talked about it being called back then. Lo and behold, Tuesday night, after we record the intro to this, what happens? They announce that there's a House of Horrors match between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton for the WWE Championship.
Craziness.
The next pay-per-view, which I think is Payback?
I believe, or is it Backlash?
Backlash, Payback, Paylash. There we go. I don't know.
Just say a Payback and a Backlash, then we find out what it is. Matt can edit it.
Or we just keep it. So I have a feeling that this could be Michael Hayes' fingerprints all over this thing. This could be the match that we talked about 20 years ago with the Hardys and Michael in Outback Steakhouse. I'm not giving us the credit for it. It's all Michael.
No, but I mean, it's like, it's timing, right? Like, I think that these are obviously, with the history of the two characters, with Randy kind of going with Bray for a little while and then splitting apart and, beating for the world title, and the type of character that Bray is, I think the Brood characters could have pulled that off, but this character might be able to pull it off even better with the crazy stuff that he does, the disappearing, reappearing stuff like that. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I think the images on the canvas at WrestleMania were kind of the initial painting that they're going to fill the canvas up with at the next pay-per-view. Do you like that analogy?
And I think I can sum it all up by quoting one Michael P.S. Hayes.
Here we go. Also wanted to reiterate another thing that we talked about in the intro is the anatomy of a match.
Right.
Which is an idea for future pods that we want to do. We want your feedback. We want you to tell us what matches you want to hear the inside stories about, what matches you remember, and preferably it's people that we can get. So let's say there's a Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon, the ladder match, and we can get them both, and we can pick their brains, and they can tell us what went into that. So
I know when you think about thinking about a match like that, is they didn't know what it was going to turn into, that it was going to turn into this phenomenon that spawned the tag team ladder match, which spawned the TLC matches, which spawned a TLC pay-per-view, a Money in the Bank ladder match, all these things. Like, that was basically, the beginning of it. So it would be interesting to kind of see the whole thought process going into it and break it down.
I see you pulled in Shawn Michaels to yeah, okay. So tweet us on that at E&C Pod, and let us know what you want to see, or you can tweet me at EdgeRatedR. You can tweet Christian at Christian4Peeps.
Right, or you can also email us at ecpodofawesomeness@gmail.com. And we should also throw out the Twitter handles for Scott Dawson, WWE, at Scott Dawson, WWE, and at Dash Wilder, WWE.
Well played. Leave us a voicemail, 929-367-8204. That's 929-367-8204. Okay, now that we got all that information out of the way, real quickly, I have to, because you're going to say I'm a mark. I say I'm just an appreciator of goodness. Mm-hmm. Goodness. That was my Dusty Rhodes. Did it get any better?
You keep going to the Dusty.
I've been practicing.
Yeah, man.
It's goodness, if you will.
Keep working on it.
That was a little better, though.
Oh, good. It's getting there.
Okay. Well, this week, one of my two favorite bands, they're neck and neck. Pearl Jam got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, first ballot, first year eligible. I couldn't be there. I was a little bummed, but hadn't seen the family in too long. So was there in spirit. And, this is important to me because, as you know, and as you've mentioned, I love music. It plays a part in, every day of my life. And I just have to say that these guys, this band, I felt like I grew up with them. Because I remember sitting, working at a horse race track in a wooden parking attendant shack with a little lantern as my heat, and playing Orangeville Raceway. There you go. Playing 10 over and over and over until I wore it out.
I remember walking into a record store, which I don't even know if they have them anymore.
They do.
And I walked in, and I remember saying to myself, I am going to buy a CD today of a band I've never heard of and listen to it. And it was Pearl Jam 10. And I listened to the shit out of that album.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, they're about 7 years older than I am, so it felt like they were singing things that I was going through, and the lyrics, just it sounds cliche, but spoke to me. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can totally get what they're saying right there. Their music has been played on every one of the flights I took over the years. They have been played on every drive at least once, on every drive to each town over the years. So congratulations to Pearl Jam. I was very happy.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So Foo Fighters next.
Stone Gossard and the boys.
Also wanted to give a shout out to Luke Hutchinson, who sent us an email this week, and very heartfelt email. I won't get into it, just to say that we're glad we could be there for you, man.
Yep. Thinking of you, man. Thanks for sending us the email.
All right. Without further ado, I think that wraps up another episode of the E&C Pod of Awesomeness.
Here we go.